All right, welcome in everyone. Can you hear me and see me okay? Go ahead and drop your comments in. If you're joining from the Celebration Key official page, which is the Facebook page we have for Celebration Key, your comments might work, I'm not sure, but make sure to go to the Jim Burns Caribbean Breeze travel page. This is the Q&A session. We're going to be learning more about Celebration Key. And this is really just a big test for the grand opening of Celebration Key, which is on July 19th. I'll be there, and we'll be going to you live from Celebration Key that day. So if there's anything bugs that need to be worked out, I'm making sure that they're worked out right now before the opening day on July 19th. Feel free to drop anything into the chat, any questions that you have. Hi, Sonia from Louisiana. Drop in where you're listening from. I am here in Dallas, Texas today, where it's actually not been that hot of a summer so far, so that's really good news. Holly says, see you on the 19th. We are excited to celebrate hubby's birthday that day. That is exciting. Happy early birthday to the hubby. If you see me around, make sure to say hi. I will be there on the 19th. I'm actually flying down on the 18th, having dinner with Carnival, and then we're flying in on the 19th. We're getting there around 8 a.m., I think is the flight time that we're supposed to land, and then exploring Celebration Key. So if I see you there, make sure to say hi. Gosh, the comments keep on rolling in. Hi, Velva from Arkansas. How are you this evening? Hello from Delaware, Williamsburg, Virginia, Ohio, Tennessee. Wow. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, so we're just going to be talking a little bit about Celebration Key today. There's been so many questions, right? So I'm the admin of the Celebration Key official Facebook page. And this is a project that I've been following since 2019. So back in 2019, the plans for Celebration Key looked a lot different than they are today and what it turned out to be. Carnival released a video of Celebration Key today, which is amazing. It's the first time I've actually seen a video like that. So Barb says, hi, Jim from Northeast Ohio, family fun. Hi, Barb, how are you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Deborah from North Carolina, thanks for tuning in. So in 2019, Celebration Key started off as just like it was always going to be Carnival's private destination, right? But it wasn't really going to be this big lagoon. So right now, this is going to be the largest freshwater lagoon in the Caribbean. It wasn't going to be like that. It was just going to be a nice pool area with, some chairs or whatever. And then, pandemic hit, and then this plan got really multiplied and blew up. And here we are 6 years later, and the grand opening of Celebration Key is just a couple weeks away. So hello from Connecticut. I have my Carnival Celebration Cup with me this evening from the Carnival Celebration. Hopefully they'll be selling Celebration Key mugs there, which brings me to my next question. So many people have been asking, can you use your sail and sign card at Celebration Key? The answer is yes, you can. I would say maybe about 85 to 90% of the places are going to accept your sail and sign card. The only exceptions to the places that will not accept your sail and sign card are, if you have a local vendor that is in Lacono Cove. So Lacono Cove is not private, but it's the shopping district that's kind of right behind the Sun Castle. So if you walk in, so you get off the ship, you're on the pier, and you walk straight back, the first thing you'll see is the Sun Castle, which has the 2 water slides, the Pink Flamingo, and then the Blue Marlin are the names of it. And if you keep walking underneath of those water slides, that's where you'll hit Lacono Cove. So in order to get to Lacono Cove, it's handicap accessible. There's no issues getting there. It's just straight concrete, cement, it's an easy surface to wheel on, and so no issues there. And so the Lacono Cove is the shopping district, so it will accept the sail and sign cards at most places. So I had a client reach out to me today and ask, you gave us onboard credit. Can that onboard credit be used at, Lacono Cove? The answer is yes, for most places that accept the sail and sign card. We don't know exactly which particular places will accept it at Lacono Cove. So they were asking about hand soaps in particular, and I don't know which type of place is going to be accepting the sail and sign card there. But as a general rule of thumb, everywhere throughout Celebration Key is going to be accepting the sail and sign card, except for maybe a few places in Lacono Cove, which is the shopping district. Hi, Cheryl, how are you? North Carolina. Wow, lots of North Carolina in the house. Tennessee. You know, I wish I lived over there. It's a nice drive to the cruise port. We have Galveston down here, which is not bad. It's maybe a 4 or 5 hour drive, but that port is blowing up in Galveston. We have Carnival there. We have MSC coming, Royal Caribbean, you know, Margaritaville soon. So exciting times. So yeah, so feel free to keep popping those chats in the question. Marie says, what's cheap or free activities for children? Okay, so if you guys are going to go to Celebration Key and don't want to spend a dime, that is 100% okay, right? So what's free to do? So if you have children, the first thing you're going to want to do is get off the ship. You're going to walk right down that pier and you're going to make a right. Well, right if you're looking at the screen. So make a right. So that is the Starfish Lagoon and beach area. So the beach will be 100% complimentary. The chairs, there's going to be tons of chairs, right? Tons of chairs. If you've seen the video today, there's plenty of chairs, especially if there's one ship in port. 2 ships in port, probably still enough chairs. But the beach is 100% complimentary. The lagoon area in Starfish Lagoon is 100% complimentary, and the chairs there are 100% complimentary. You can also eat at Celebration Key, 100% complimentary. You will only get 1 meal per person, though, and it's a quick service meal. So think chicken tenders, think you know, chicken sandwiches, think with French fries on the side, you know, think things like that, right? So we're not talking like sit down, you know, type extravagant meals, but right, there's definitely going to be options for you to eat. However, once you use that 1 free credit per person, it expires, and you can't get anything for free the rest of the day. Anything else you would have to pay for. So you can go back to the ship, eat, and then come back to Celebration Key, or you can you know, go back to the ship early, whatever you want to do. So that's the free things to do if you're a family at Celebration Key. If you have young kids, definitely head over to Starfish Lagoon. They have the splash pad area for the children. You know, water diapers are okay in that area. You know, and there's so many things to do. If you wanted to do the water slides with the children, that is going to be $15 per person. Carnival just announced a couple of days ago, so it's best to pre-book the water slides, right? Because there's only going to be a certain number of passes. If you're the only ship in port that day, you're probably fine reserving. You're probably fine getting to Celebration Key and actually buying the pass there. If there's 2 ships in port that day, you know, I recommend pre-booking the water slides. Like I said, they're $15 per person, unlimited throughout the day. You can go on them as many times as you want. There's no time limit. I know some of the shore excursions say till 1 o'clock, or some of them say 4 hours only. No, it's basically up until 30 minutes before the ship leaves that you can use those water slides. And they will be available for purchase at Celebration Key. It's just, do you want to risk, you know, waiting to see if they're still available once you get there. Nick says, is there a way to know how many ships will be there on a certain day and which ones? Yes, Nick. There's a website. You know, I don't know off the top of my head. I have an internal travel agent website that we use that brings it up really quickly. But there is a website available to the general public as well. I think it's called ShipTime or ShipTease or something like that. Feel free to message me and I can get you that information. Yes, I will be there on opening day, bright and early at 8 a.m. I think my flight from Miami to Freeport leaves at like 5 or 6 in the morning or something. So it's gonna be a long day, but I'm looking forward to it. Really excited. Let's see if I have any other questions here. I know there was a lot rolling as I was talking. Virginia here, thank you for the updates you have been doing. Oh, no problem, Jeffrey. Yeah, I really have enjoyed doing this. You know, like I said, I've been following this project since 2019, but really just kind of gotten heavily involved. And I'm not building the island or building Celebration Key or anything, right? I'm just, you know, learning as much as I can about it, going to a bunch of trainings. My first in-person training for it was back in February or March, and since then it's just been crazy, right? I've been there straight with you guys where, you know, there's a lot of answers that are changing daily, but I'm here to give you the most accurate information that I can based off of today or yesterday, really. Velva says, yes, thank you, Velva. Cruisemapper.com, that is a good one. lets you choose a port, plug in a certain month, and you can see the ships in port. Yes, that is a great website. Thank you, Velva. Can you use the Bubbles package at Celebration Key? No. So Bubbles and Cheers will not extend to the island. Or I keep saying island myself. I have to stop. Will not extend to Celebration Key, unfortunately. Okay, number one question, drink package. So Rebecca asks, can you explain how the drink package works at Celebration Key, or if it works at all? Okay. So the Cheers package does not work on Celebration Key. If you were to purchase a drink, now this is as of 2 days ago, so things can change, right? But this is as of my meeting 2 days ago. If you were to purchase a drink, okay, let's just say this. You hit 8 drinks on the ship, you go to Celebration Key, and you want to purchase an additional drink. Well, you would need to you can't use your Cheers 15 drink credit, right? You have to use your separate, you have to pay for it basically. So, when you pay for it, you aren't supposed to use your sale and sign card, right? If you use your sale and sign card, it will count towards your 15 drink limit. So, if you're going to Celebration Key and you don't want the drinks to count towards your 15 drink limit, do not use your sale and sign card. You may ask, well, how do I pay for it? Credit card is also accepted at Celebration Key in most areas. So, that has been a huge question. There's been a lot of misinformation on it recently. Yes. If you purchase a drink at Celebration Key on your sale and sign card, it will count towards your 15 drink limit. If you don't purchase it on your sale and sign card, it won't. So that's the latest information as of yesterday, I believe I heard it. So I will let you know on July 19th if that changes at all. All right. Is there a tram? Nick, that's a great question. Still don't know the answer to that one, unfortunately. I wish I did. I can speak about the accessibility of the island a little bit. So Celebration Key will be accessible, right? So we've been saying that, or not me, but Carnival has been saying that for a while now. So what does that really mean? So I released a video on YouTube maybe 2 months ago now, kind of highlighted. So there will be gradual entries into each of the lagoons. That's guaranteed. The pier will not be that long compared to other, other ports. So that's guaranteed. The tram, I don't really know. It's still up in the air, honestly, with Carnival. The other thing that's good is that there will be a path that you can take literally that wraps around the entire part of Celebration Key. That is just, it's not sand. It's just a cement surface, basically. So, you can take that if you have a wheelchair or a scooter, you can take that and go all the way around the entire section of Celebration Key, and it would still be accessible. Someone asked about, is there a path within like the beaches so you can wheel a wheelchair on something like, so you're not digging into the sand? I'm not too sure about that, but what I do know is that there's a path all around Celebration Key that is easily accessible. There's gradual entry into the lagoons. I'm not sure about the trams yet, but for the most part, it's going to be accessible. And I will keep you updated on that because that's a very important issue. Cheryl says, Teresa says, we appreciate you sharing with us. We'll be on the Carnival Dream leaving on the 26th. Can't wait. That is an exciting itinerary, Teresa. I believe you're on probably Relax Away, Half Moon Cay, Key West maybe on that one. That 8-day out of Galveston, that is one that I'm looking into because there's not a lot of times that you can cruise all the way to Celebration Key from Galveston, so that's exciting. Kiersey, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Is there a DJ music also on Starfish side? No, so there's only the DJ, or is music from the DJ on the other side fed throughout the island? Yeah, so the actual DJ will only be on the Calypso Lagoon side, right? So the Calypso Lagoon side is the adults friendly or adults only section. And if you kind of remember that image that Carnival's been sharing where it has that sun that's kind of like this, and then there's a DJ underneath and it's facing the pool, the swing bar is there, right? That's where the DJ will be, and that's on the Calypso Lagoon side of the island. As far as will the music bleed over into Starfish Lagoon, I don't really know. It's kind of something that I'll have to actually be there to see, but I'll be there to report and let everyone know. Do they accept cash for a drink instead of a credit card? Cashless. So we were told that Celebration Key will be cashless. So no cash as of right now, and I believe that even includes the Locono Cove. 6 months later, I'm still having a hard time saying it. I believe that still includes the shopping portal as well. So last we were told, no cash. Nick says, great information. Thank you. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate you. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Feel free to keep popping your questions into the chat. I'm here to answer anything that I can answer. There's a lot of questions that still are unanswered, but if I can answer it, I will certainly help. Are there swim-up bars and swings on the Starfish Lagoon side? Crystal, that is a great question. Let me take a look right now. No, there's not. Looks like there's only those swings on the Calypso Lagoon side. There is a big restaurant called Mingo's that kind of pushes up against the water on the lagoon side of Starfish Lagoon, so that's what I thought at first, but no, the swings are actually only at Calypso. Kathy says, I'll be there for my birthday in December, so excited. Happy early birthday, Kathy. Any idea how many miles around the island? Oof. I can't even give you a guess, unfortunately. I don't know. All I can tell you is that it will be easily accessible as far as like there's concrete that goes all the way around. Yeah, I don't know, unfortunately. I will let you know that on July 19th. No, there's no. So someone asked, Danny asked, is there a golf cart there for rent? So no golf carts for rent. So you don't have to stay in Celebration Key, right? I think it's a great idea to stay in Celebration Key. It's going to be really, really nice. And, you know, there's been a lot of downplay on this private destination, but it's actually really going to be nice. If you can get past the drink package situation and, you know, one free meal. But other than that, it's really going to be nice. But there's no shore excursions that you can take at Celebration Key, right? All the shore excursions that you can take will take you into Freeport or other areas of Grand Bahama. So remember, Celebration Key is kind of like Carnival's private destination in Grand Bahama. It's not necessarily a private island, so yeah. Velva says, is one end of Calypso Lagoon family friendly? We have both super villas booked, and that's how they're described. One is adults only, not family friendly. Yeah, so that's a great question. Who asked that? Velva. That's a great question, Velva. I probably should not be drinking coffee at 6:19 at night Central Time, but okay. That's a great question. So Calypso Lagoon. So Calypso Lagoon is going to have an adult-only area. That's complimentary. And it's going to have an adult-friendly area. That's complimentary. The adult-friendly area is so that your kids can come in and visit and then kind of go, you know. And it's not strictly enforced. The adult-only area is going to be strictly enforced. So what you're talking about, Velva, where you said you have your super villas booked. One is adults only. One is adults only, not family friendly. That's in that adults only section where it's going to be no kids allowed. My bad. One is family friendly. One adults only. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm just scrolling through the comments. Feel free to drop your comment below. If I don't get to it, I'm sorry. There's a lot of comments in here. Gail says, if you have the all-inclusive package, do you have to sit at a sit-down lunch, or can you eat on the beach? Gail, I'm assuming you mean the all-inclusive package for Pearl Cove Beach Club. If that's the case, that's a great question. That's a really good question. Just the way it was presented makes me feel like it's sit-down. But I'm really not too sure. It's a great question. I'll have to find that out for you. Will there be machines with water, lemonade, and tea available? Yes, there will be, Cindy. So that's going to be at the food hall, which is at Celebration Key, and there will be water complimentary, not water bottles, just like the same dispensers that you see on the ships. And then we were told lemonade and iced tea will also be available there. I'm assuming that they'll be available there all hours of the day, not just certain hours, because there's no buffet at Celebration Key, right? So it's not like they'll shut down the buffet. Everything's open for an extended period of time. So I'm assuming that water, lemonade, and tea will be available for the entire time you're there, but they will definitely be available. Living for your update when you go. We are on Celebration for my birthday cruise, July 27th. Thank you. I hope you have a great time on Celebration. One of my favorite ships. I've been on it 3 times. It's really one of my favorite ships. You'll just miss me on July 27th. So I will be in Celebration Key on July 19th. And then I am flying back to Miami from Celebration Key, staying 2 days in Miami. And then I'll actually be boarding Carnival Conquest on July 21st. And then I'll be back in Celebration Key on July 22nd. So I'll be in Celebration Key July 19th and July 22nd, really to get you guys the most information, accurate information as possible. I'll also be doing reviews the following, I think, I have a schedule release. I think it's the 20th of July and maybe the 23rd of July. I'll be doing Celebration Key reviews as well. No, Jason, that's a really good question. How many people are they going to cap Pearl Cove adult only area at? I'm assuming not too many, just because there are a lot of sailings that are actually already sold out. So I don't know if that just means the demand is high, or if it's a low cap number. I really don't know. The area is fairly big though, so it doesn't really look that big when you're looking at the map. But Pearl Cove Beach Club is actually pretty big. So there's that pool area, and then there's chairs along that pool area. But what I don't think I've seen in any pictures yet is there's the beach area too, right? And there's a lot of chairs on that beach area. So I think there's going to be a lot of room to move around there. I'll be there on August 17th with family, and then again on September 27th for my birthday. Sharon, have so much fun. Kathy says it's disappointing that Carnival is charging for everything as their private port. You would think the slides and such would be free. Yeah, Kathy, it is a little disappointing. There was that rumor that was put out there that the water slides would be complimentary, but I was always told, even back in February, that they were still evaluating it, and it was likely going to be an upcharge. So, the slides are going to be $15 per person. There's only going to be 2 water slides, so, you can make that judgment if you think that's worth it to you. If you look at other private islands like Royal Caribbean, they charge, I think $80 to $150 for their Thrill Island, but there's also a lot more water slides. So you just kind of have to make that decision if those 2 water slides are worth the $15. And it's unlimited use too, so. Where do you get the free meal from? That's a great question, Ricky. So I actually released a map about a couple months ago now, or about a month ago now. See if I can pull it up real quick. So basically, you can get your free meal. You can get your free meal at any of the quick service restaurants. Okay, here we go. So you can get your free meal at Mingo's Express in Calypso Lagoon, the Food Truck Plaza in Calypso Lagoon, the snack shacks in Calypso Lagoon, and still undetermined about the food carts, but we think the food carts are going to be included as well. Those are going to be more like your salads and your wraps and things like that. And then in Starfish Lagoon, Captain Galley's Food Hall, and that is where there will definitely be water, lemonade, and iced tea. The Food Truck Plaza, snack shacks, and food carts. So there's a map if you are part of, I don't know if you're commenting from the Jim Burns, from my page or the Celebration Key group, but in that Celebration Key group, there's a picture somewhere in there. You just kind of have to search. It's the title of it is a breakdown of dining options at Celebration Key Official. If you search that, you should be able to get that map. And there's a bunch of stars that I put next to each one. Yes, Carmen, that's a really great question. So the day beds are not available for the first few sailings. I don't know when they'll resume. Someone who's stopping there though on July 23rd said that they are available for their sailing. Not yet confirmed, but the water day beds are not installed yet. There was some type of delay. I don't know if that delay means that they're delayed permanently or if they're delayed, for the time being, but definitely not going to be available for the first few sailings. Yes, the day beds are not, are the day beds not ready that already have been purchased? Yes, they are not. And Carnival should be refunding you. If not, make sure to talk to your travel advisor or Carnival directly. Great question, Christy. Plenty of free chairs, but what about umbrellas? I'm not too sure. I haven't really seen the umbrella situation yet, so I don't want to comment and tell you the wrong answer on that. But there will be plenty of free chairs. Umbrellas, I hope so, because I'm more of a shade person. So we'll have to see about that. Danny says, Calypso Lagoon, do you have to pay to get in? No, Danny. Calypso Lagoon is 100% complimentary. So there's the adults-only area of Calypso Lagoon, and then there's the adult-friendly area of Calypso Lagoon. Both of them are 100% complimentary, so no need to spend any money there if you don't want to. Deborah says, can you bring your own small umbrellas? Yeah, I don't see why not. Definitely check Carnival's website, though, for the most up-to-date regulations, but I think if they fold, I don't see why not. But where do you get your one free meal at? So so your one free meal at Starfish Lagoon can be redeemed at Mango's Express, Food Truck Plaza, Snack Shacks, and most likely any of the food carts around. And then the Starfish Lagoon side, you can redeem it at Captain's Galley Food Hall, Food Truck Plaza, Snack Shacks, and any food carts. Sorry, there's a bunch of comments. I'm just trying to make sure to get to all of them real quick. Are the water slides included per guest if the cabana is already rented? Yes, Crystal. I believe every single cabana, let me just confirm that really quickly. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Because they're definitely the water slides are definitely included for most cabanas, but I don't know if it's every single cabana. So let me check here. Yeah, it looks like all the cabanas, at least the ones I can see. Let me just check this one here real quick. Let me check the luxury ones. Yes, it looks like all the cabanas are included, not the day beds though. And I don't know how they're going to handle that. I'm guessing it's going to be a wristband. So the same wristband that you probably use to get your cabana is going to be that same wristband that you use to ride the water slides. If you already purchased the day bed for August 9th, the first thing that you want to do is log into your My Cruise Manager on Carnival's website to make sure that it's actually still there. And if it's still there, then I guess they'll expect it to have the day beds available by your cruise. If it's not still there, then they canceled it off and you'll be refunded. August 9th is still a pretty long time away, though, so I imagine that they'll be there. Keep dropping those comments below, guys. Haley says, so we will be there on July 24th. I will have a 5.5-year-old. Besides the slides, pool, beach, splash pad, anything else you can suggest that he will be able to do? No, really, the splash pad is the biggest thing for about a 5.5-year-old. The Starfish Lagoon, which is the swimming area, will be nice. There will be, probably too young for this, but something I didn't mention. There will be basketball courts and tennis courts and I think pickleball courts, so there will be a little recreational area like that. If they're into the ocean, there is supposed to be snorkeling. You can purchase snorkeling equipment on the My Cruise Manager, or you can bring your own. But as far as 5.5-year-old, I think you'll probably want to stick to Starfish Lagoon, around that lagoon area and splash pad. And that's really, once you enter Celebration Key and you get off the ship, you walk down to the pier, make a right, and it's right there. Secure your spot for the day. It was there last time you checked. Okay, Carmen, then you're still good. So that means that they'll probably have it in time, fingers crossed. If anyone has any other last questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. So I'm going to be doing this time, obviously, and then I'm going to be doing it again 2 days before I fly to Celebration Key. So on July 16th, we'll have another one of these. Hopefully there will be a lot more information released. And then on July 19th, which I will be actually live at Celebration Key, that will be the exciting time. So if you're not following me already, be sure to follow Jim Burns Caribbean Breeze Travel. That is my Facebook page, and every single time I post, you'll get a notification. For sports section, is it safe to assume equipment like... Yes, Crystal, I don't think there's going to be any type of signing out the equipment for the sports section. It should just be available. That sports section is going to be located actually in Starfish Lagoon and Calypso Lagoon towards the back. So that's hard to explain, but it's kind of like on either side of Lacono Cove, like towards the back of Celebration Key. Yes, younger children in swim diapers will be able to use the splash pad. That is confirmed. Will earlier disembarking be available for folks with excursions booked? If the excursion is through Carnival, yes. If the excursion is not booked through Carnival, I assume no. What age is an adult? That's a really good question, okay? I'm not sure if it's going to go by... I'm assuming you're talking about entry into Pearl Cove Beach Club. I would be guessing if I told you that answer. Jeffrey says, are you allowed to bring your own pool noodles? I don't know. That's a really good question. I mean, you could save yourself $10.99. I might do it. I'd assume you are able to, Jeffrey. I think you probably are able to bring your own pool noodles. That made me laugh. Pool noodles cost 0 points. Or, I guess, 10 points. Or, I don't know how. 30 points? Is it 3 times? I don't know. It's so confusing. What was your Facebook page again? So my Facebook page is Jim Burns Caribbean Breeze Travel. Jim, last name Burns, Burns, Caribbean Breeze Travel. Can you bring your own pool float? Yeah, I don't know. That goes along with the same lines as the question about the pool noodles. I would think so, but I haven't seen anything that says otherwise. The one thing I will say is, so there's so many questions that have been just really not answered yet. And that's because of Carnival's operations team is just really still putting together the final details. The sales team is kind of begging for questions, and Carnival's operations team is kind of still trying to figure things out. So there's a lot of questions that are still unanswered. No, Kathy. So it looks like phase 2, there's no plans for a lazy river. However, maybe that will change. Royal Caribbean's introducing a lazy river, the longest lazy river in the world. They're introducing at their new destination in Mexico, Perfect Day Mexico. So if Carnival wants to compete with that or try to compete with that, they may with phase 2. But for phase 1, there's not going to be a lazy river. Phase 2 plans could possibly include a ropes course or a larger water park, jungle area, maybe something like that. And that is scheduled to be completed in 2027. When you go to Celebration Key, whether it's this year or next year, you will see like where they're starting phase 2. It's just a bunch of like dirt right now, but you'll see the land is all cleared out. And I have a feeling we're going to find out what they're building fairly quickly, because it's already starting to be built over there. And that phase 2 will kind of be right to the right of Starfish Lagoon area. Is there anything free you can do at Celebration Key? We are leaving August 31st. Yeah. The lagoon, both on the Calypso Lagoon side and the Starfish Lagoon side, are both complimentary. The beaches are complimentary. And you can get 1 free meal per person. Yeah, so Pearl Cove is the furthest. Someone asked how long is the walk to Pearl Cove. Pearl Cove is probably the furthest away from the pier. So if I had to put minutes to it, maybe about a 5-minute walk by the time you reach the end of the pier. Or something similar to that. And that will be accessible, right? So that's on that concrete area. So if you have trouble with mobility, you will be able to reach Pearl Cove. All right, so I want to thank everyone for being here today. Really appreciate you. Like I said, if you're not following me already, JimBurns-CaribbeanBreezeTravel.com. They will have Pepsi there in the beginning and then Coke there towards the end of the summer. Sherry, that 1 free meal is loaded on your Sail and Sign card. So you just walk up, you give them your ship card, and it's already on there. All right, thank you for tuning in, everyone. Next time I will be live for Celebration Key will be on July 16th, which is 2 days prior to the opening of Celebration Key. I'll be doing another one of these, hopefully with more information. And then on July 19th, I will be at Celebration Key holding my phone the other way, showing you all there is to know about Celebration Key. Before that, I'm actually flying to Italy in 3 days to board Azamara Onward, which is a luxury cruise line for a top agent producer retreat. So I'm really excited about that, doing the Italy coast on the west side of Italy, and then flying back and heading to Celebration Key. So really appreciate you all for tuning in. I really enjoy sharing this information, because it is really confusing what Carnival has put out there. So trying to kind of dive into it and absorb everything and give it to you guys. So I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and talk soon. Be sure to follow Jim Burns Caribbean Breeze Travel. Bye, everyone.